I just don't be knowing if I want to share my journey or if I just want to, you know, go through my battle alone. So I figure this is a start.
You are not alone, that I know.
No one will understand. They could never get it when it's millions of people who's already gotten it. So I don't know. See, that's the thing about starting to open up with one thing, then it'll be opening up other stuff. What really veered my train off track, so to speak, is just the well, I don't know. This is gonna be life changing for me, and there's certain things that I have to let go, and I think I've done a good job of just dealing with it and not letting go. So I think something that really contributed to this issue was me having 3 miscarriages. My first miscarriage I had, we were at 6 months. We were just celebrating the 6-month mark, sitting out the year, super happy, super stressed out, going through a lot of stuff, work, etc. So I went into early labor, and that was really tough moment. And I don't know why it's so like hard for me to just get to the point, but
it's harder to talk to everybody than it is to talk to, you know what I'm saying? Like if you know you gonna be saying something that you actually don't tell many people, it might be a little harder to.
That makes sense.
It might be a little harder to say, but it's all about being transparent. People relate, you know what I'm saying?
Well, the transparency is definitely a must. I don't really care to make videos and lie or stretch the truth. Like, story times is cool, but the real ones is cooler than the fake ones. So,
For real.
I don't know. I just feel like transparency is a part of this whole process, and you know, in order to realize what has triggered you, or you know, I'm not gonna have all the words for this shit, but I'm just trying to get it out the best way that I can. So bear with me. That's all I can say is I'm human. So I really feel like the miscarriages that we experienced really ultimately played a role in where we are today. I know we got pregnant the first time, and we were 6 months pregnant, and then we ended up going into labor in December in the middle of a blizzard. And I remember being in labor for literally like all day long. Like I was literally in labor for like almost 24 hours. Like it hurt so bad. But remember being in labor, them, you know, telling us the obvious. And I remember being really, really, really depressed. I didn't know what postpartum was in 2017. No, well, I gave birth in 2017. So going into 2018, I didn't know about postpartum. And, you know, I wish somebody would have told me. And it's kind of hard to look up something that you don't know really exists, or, you know, I really don't have people around me that have had kids recently, so it's not like anybody in my immediate corner could be like, oh yeah, that's postpartum, you know, this gonna happen, whatever. But I remember being like really, really sad and really being depressed. So then eventually I got out of that funk like a year later. And I do remember, like, I cried for almost like a year straight, like every single day. Like, it just hurt my feelings so bad. And I can only imagine how it made you feel, you know. In February, we found out we was pregnant again. And then I ended up having a miscarriage, or basically it's like what they call a chemical pregnancy, where it's showing up on all the tests and then nothing really progresses after that. So I ended up having a miscarriage at work, which was really uncomfortable and kind of in a way demeaning, because you gotta tell people what's going on and all this other stuff. So boom, that was in February 2019. So then I started keto. I put out a keto book. I'm losing weight. I'm looking great, all of that. And then, so 8 months later, I'm like, well, babe, I feel like we should, maybe talk to a doctor, see if something is like wrong, or whatever. So you agreed to come to the doctor with me. And the doctor's like, well, we really don't see nothing wrong. We know that there's some hereditary issues with my mom where she's had some miscarriages and stillbirths in the past. So worst case, it's just hereditary, but like nothing noted, nothing etched in stone. So I'm gonna insert the video of us leaving from this appointment. We laughing, twerking, just having fun. No, it was not me by myself. I can't take him nowhere.
Definitely wasn't no twerking over here.
So when we in the elevator laughing, having a good time. So this was like October 17th-ish, 2019. So my birthday is November 6th. I had a weird feeling like the night before to take a pregnancy test because I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't think I'm pregnant, but if I am, I don't want to be drinking and all of that. And it's my birthday tomorrow. So I took a pregnancy test and boom, very fine line. So I thought it was just the liquor I had drank perhaps, because it wasn't no way that I was seeing double lines after we just went to the doctor not even a whole month ago. So as you can see, these were all the positives that we got. So we're really, really excited about that. So basically I got pregnant twice in 2019. Right after I found out I was pregnant this third time, I had already had surgery scheduled for my sinuses because I had some sinus issues that just was not correcting, where I kind of couldn't hear on my ear and my equilibrium and stuff was off. And I had lost my hearing before, like long time ago, for like several months, which was the scariest shit ever. So this time around I had like a sinus surgery. So I always wonder if that has something to do with the third pregnancy not working, because that surgery was like a week or so later. And even though, the doctors and nurses were aware and they signed off that everything was safe and I could still go forward with it, I don't know for real. I ain't trying to be funny and question nobody's medical expertise, but y'all are still human at the end of the day. Y'all still at work, just like around Thanksgiving to kind of start to see complications. But we were told everything was okay. And then, a couple days later, seeing some signs that weren't too promising, and went to the emergency room and told everything was okay. Went to our primary doctor and was told everything wasn't okay. They bounced us back and forth like at least 3 to 4 times with baby's okay, baby's not okay, baby's okay. But like, it was so frustrating. It was like really irritating and kind of overwhelming. And we got through that or whatever, but ultimately, I remember on like Christmas Eve, I ended up talking to my primary OBGYN, and she basically was like, look, you've been miscarrying for a couple weeks, it's not working, the byproduct isn't so much coming out the way it should, so we're gonna have you come in and do a DNC. So basically we set up the DNC on Christmas Eve, so that was, a present, I suppose. But the procedure was for January 3rd, 2020. So I brought in 2020, the year of COVID, with having this procedure done, and that's where our pregnancy tales kind of halt or stop for now. And I honestly feel like just going through the ups and downs, the highs, the lows of trying to conceive with my husband, and this has literally, that was in 2017, this is 2022. So us going up and down and stuff like that will take an emotional toll on you. When certain dates roll around, birth dates, delivery dates, due dates, stuff like that, you just kind of suck it up. You kind of just, you know, grab you a mimosa and smoke you a blunt and just think what could have. But just being honest and it being my truth and our truth, so to speak, I feel like that definitely played a role in kind of where I am today. I don't feel like I'm a emotional eater. Like, I don't feel like when I get sad or if I see something sad on TV, I just need ice cream. I think I'm more of like a portion control type of person. Y'all see what type of food I be cooking. It tastes good, it look good, all of that. So that's what I be wanting. And maybe in a way that's emotional eating because it's comforting to me. But I'm excited for this new change and this new journey because I have, you know, the skills of cooking healthy food and still making it look good and tasting good. I just kind of go for what I know. And being honest, I go for what pay the bills. So I'm looking forward to challenging myself while sharing my journey and sharing some of the tools and the things that I've learned along the way. What I'm trying to say is that I look forward to having kind of two sectors to the business, not just the traditional chef-based stuff, but the healthier version of it as well. So that way nobody is excluded. And the way I personally feel about food is I'm not trying to stop nobody from eating what they want to eat. If you feel like today you want oxtails and mac and cheese and cabbage, go for it. If you feel like you want lentils and nuts and raisins, go for it. Like, there's no shade, there's no tea either way. It's whatever, you know, whatever floats your boat. So I feel like it's fair to not only have a sector for both, but no matter how you feeling any day, you can still, you know, check out recipes, whether they're traditional holiday recipes or whether they're healthy keto recipes or if they're more bariatric or blood pressure friendly. I don't have high blood pressure, but I like to, you know, think of people outside of the traditional, just people that like soul food. You might like soul food, but you may be on a low sodium diet. So those are all things that I want to take into account when I make recipes going forward and make these VSG. As tough as it was in my own brain to talk about what I just talked about, I feel like it's important that I got that out because that's the only thing that I can really see standing out when it comes to what could drive me to kind of fall off the deep end in that aspect. You know, obviously it's the obvious food, yes, that, but behind an issue is an underlying issue, a sub-issue. And long as I identify what it is that's, I don't want to say driven me to this point, but long as I can identify what that sub-issue is, I feel like I can be successful in my journey and not letting something like this happen again, just controlling my emotions a little better, whether, you know, it's, you know, losing a pregnancy or losing anything else, keeping it together when something serious happens, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. That's that in a nutshell. I don't know what else to say after that, but the next video coming up is going to be the doctor's papers and the orders leading up to the surgery. And yeah, thank you so much for listening to me rant. I don't know, I wish I had some more substance to provide, but it's just what it is at this point. So I'm just trying to, like I said earlier, loosen up to the idea of doing these videos, just kind of coming out back and just shooting the shit. That was rough.